If you want to be great on the court and in life, you need to master one thing: taking your shot. Whether it's a game-winning jumper or a big opportunity in life, success comes down to preparation, confidence, and the ability to execute under pressure. The best shooters and the most successful people aren't afraid to aim high and go for it. Why shooting separates the great from the good? Think about it. What do the greatest players of all time have in common? Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Steph Curry were all elite shooters. Jordan wasn't just a high flyer who could dunk on defenders. He mastered the mid-range game, hitting jumpers over some of the best defenders in history. Kobe? His fadeaway jumper was so unstoppable that even players today study it like a secret weapon. Shooting isn't just about scoring points. It's about control, confidence, and dominating the game. If you can shoot, you decide the game's outcome, from set shots to jump shots. But here's something crazy. There was a time when nobody even jumped while shooting. Back in the early days of basketball, players shot with both feet planted on the ground, using what's called a set shot. It worked fine when defenders weren't as athletic, but as the game evolved, taller and stronger players made it nearly impossible to get a clean shot. Something had to change, and it did, thanks to a kid from a farm in Wyoming. Kenny Sailors, the man who jumped first. Now, you probably haven't heard of Kenny Sailors, but you should have. In the 1930s, he was just a short kid trying to play against his older brother, Bud, who was 6'5". Every time Kenny tried to shoot, Bud swatted the ball away like it was nothing. That's when Kenny figured something out. What if he jumped? The moment he tried it, everything changed. He dribbled, jumped high into the air, and released the ball before Bud could react. It was a game changer. He kept practicing until it became second nature. By the time he reached the University of Wyoming, Sailors had perfected what we now call the modern jump shot. In 1943, he led his team to an NCAA championship, stunning fans with his shooting style. But despite revolutionizing the game, Sailors never got the credit he truly deserved. The debate: who really invented the jump shot? Even today, there's some debate about who first used the jump shot. The NCAA archives credit John Miller Cooper, a player from the University of Missouri in the 1930s, as the first person to shoot while jumping. However, others argue that Sailors were the ones who truly introduced the jump shot as we know it. Regardless of who did it first, one thing is clear: the jump shot changed basketball forever. How the jump shot created legends. Without the jump shot, we wouldn't have seen Michael Jordan sinking clutch mid-range shots to win championships. There would be no Kobe Bryant hitting fadeaway jumpers over multiple defenders. These players built their careers around mastering the art of shooting off the dribble, and it all traces back to the pioneers who dared to change the way basketball was played. Beyond this, Jordan wasn't just a dunking machine. His footwork and mid-range accuracy made him nearly unstoppable. Defenders knew he would take the shot, but they still couldn't stop him. Kobe? His work ethic turned him into one of the best shot makers in history. He studied every move, every angle, and practiced until he could make difficult shots look easy. These guys weren't just great athletes. They were artists with a basketball in their hands. Essential tips to improve your shooting. Well, shooting isn't just a skill for the court. It's a lesson for life. Think about it. Every time you take a shot, you're making a decision, trusting your preparation, and taking responsibility for the outcome. A great shooter understands that everything starts with proper hand placement. Your hand should be positioned in a way that gives you total control over the ball. Your shooting hand should be behind the ball, and your guide hand should only stabilize, not push the shot. If you watch Steph Curry, you'll notice his hands are always positioned the same accuracy. He doesn't bring the ball behind his head or push it sideways. His mechanics are clean, and that's what makes him so deadly. Another key factor is timing. The ball should be released just before you reach the peak of your jump. This is what gives your shot that effortless feel. If you release too early, you'll lose power. If you release too late, you'll lose accuracy. Your legs generate up force, so use them properly. A good way to check if you're using your legs correctly is to see where you land after shooting. If you land in the same spot, your balance and form are solid. If you're falling forward or backward, you're losing control of your shot. Steph Curry always lands in the same place because his shooting motion is balanced and controlled. And finally, the follow-through. The best shooters in the world all have the same signature finish. Their wrists relaxed, fingers pointed toward the target, and their hands held up as if they're reaching into a cookie jar. This is not just for style. It ensures the ball follows the correct path. Your fingers should be the last thing touching the ball, and they should guide it straight toward the rim. If your follow-through is off, your shot will be off, too. Steph Curry's follow-through is picture perfect. His hand stays up until the ball hits the rim, ensuring that every shot is as precise as possible. Steph Curry's drills for perfecting your shot. Now that we've covered the fundamentals, how do you train like a great shooter? Steph Curry follows a strict shooting routine to perfect his shot. He starts every practice with close-range shots, focusing on mechanics. He doesn't just shoot randomly. He studies every make and miss, adjusting his form if necessary. If a shot is long or short, he knows it's a rhythm issue. If it's left or right, he knows something is wrong with his mechanics. This kind of attention to detail is what makes him an elite shooter. His go-to drill is simple but effective. He starts a few feet from the basket and makes 5 perfect shots before stepping back. He repeats this process from different spots until he's made 100 perfect shots. It's not about taking 1,000 random shots. It's about making every shot count. If you want to improve, start close to the basket and focus on perfect makes before moving back. Track your progress, analyze your misses, and make the necessary adjustments. Another drill Curry swears by is form shooting. He practices shooting with one hand to ensure his shooting mechanics are solid. This drill helps develop muscle memory and eliminates bad habits. If your shot feels off, try shooting with just your dominant hand to correct any issues, bringing it all together. In the end, becoming a great shooter takes time, effort, and attention to detail. It's not about how many shots you take, it's about how many good shots you take. Every great shooter, from Steph Curry to Ray Allen, built their shot through repetition, discipline, and a focus on fundamentals. If you follow the right process, you will see results. So, whether you're on the court or facing challenges in life, remember this. Keep your form, trust the process, and never stop shooting. How do you find these tips helpful? Let us know in the comments. And do like and subscribe to the channel.